Hi, it's Kazuyoshi. So because I work with many executive kind of CEOs and also some top athletes, and there are a lot of similarity and some difference. But today I'd like to talk about the similarity. And also I was talking about future of the society and human and AI with my friends, so I can combine these things together. And early in this year, in January, I met, it was five young and talented baseball players who are already a professional player, who are going to be the regular player in their team. So, and obviously they are already a successful people, but it was 5th or 4th in January, so we're starting to plan about the future. And I asked what they are thinking about, what they want to do, and what they are expecting from the training. So they came to our facility and they had a 1 month plan to start practicing. So I asked what they want to do. So they in the round table they go one by one. And what I heard from them was that they are planning to do this and improve this and one of this and something like that. So everything was like what they want to do or what they want to add or what they want to improve or make changes. And that is good because they came in with some the idea, not just came in and asking for the coaches to give any instruction. That is nice. But at the same time, I'm obviously found something lacking because the plan was that January 25th, they are leaving the facility and moving to their spring training location that starts from February, which means that from my perspective as being a coach or kind of habit designer, obviously they need to have a clear end image of the 25th of January. So in the 5th of January, if it started, so in the 20 days, they have to achieve something and they need to have the end state image of the 25th, or maybe could be the 1st of February, or could be the end of February, or could be end of March, or you know what I mean. So if the kind of a season will start or the 28th of March, they will need to obviously know that what kind of states they are there when they start. And of course, that's not going to be uh, relatively vague because it's about the future. But even so, they need to think about that for themselves. And I asked them, what do you want to be like? So after 20 days, starting from the 5th, and 25th, they're going to pack and go to other places. So I asked about the end state. So this is a way we need to think when we start doing something, or maybe in the middle. Every time we need to stop and think about what's the end state or what's the midterm state. And of course, this is same for the corporate leaders that I need to ask them. They have a plan, but these people are relatively trained well to think that way. So at least when people are ready to speak about the numbers, that the kind of millions they want to achieve after this initiative took place, and kind of 18 months from now, it will hit this and that. So they know the numbers, so they are better in terms of that thinking about the future of it forward or planning based on that. And of course, I have following questions. And of course, some people are ready, but in many cases, they are not prepared. And it doesn't mean that I know everything. It's just that I'm the person who is responsible to ask. So they start thinking about that. The question is, okay, now you have hit the sales number in 18 months. And after that 18 months, what is the organization, the state? Like, how many people do you have? Where is the office? Of course, now these days, people are back at the office. So where do you need to set the office? Yeah, yeah. how many outside kind of distributors you have, those kind of things questions can follow. And this is not to let them down, it's just to help them think forward, not kind of pointing out that you're missing this point. It's just that our brain does not work perfectly in that way. So if you've been asked, you know that has to be in place. But if you are not, then therefore I exist. So, right. And so they start to think about the plan and they speak about that. So they speak about that, okay, by that time we need 550 people in this and blah, blah, blah. So those kind of things, enable them to prepare. And that is a huge process of coaching or a conversational approach for this. And so myself, I am so much trained to do this. So therefore, I start with a number or start with something, and then I start thinking about the state. And of course, there should be a schema that I'm missing. However, I'm trained. So at the end of the point, someday you may become able to do without somebody's help. But until you reach to that point, probably somebody asking is going to be a good help. And of course, you write something that you need to, the question that you need to think about, reflect on, then you can pull that kind of a question and then you ask it, and then that will work as a role that I'm kind of playing. And the last thing is that I was talking about the AI with my friend, and of course, there are a lot of interaction going on these days, and people are moving ahead. In some way they're competing, but in many way probably collaborating to help each other. And so my question is that yes, this is wonderful and just a little bit scary, but probably the excitement over rules will be much more than a scare, but probably. And of course, we need to if we keep running, it's going to be much more comfortable. So therefore, it's going to be nice to keep running and gathering the information, thinking out loud and speaking out loud. But the question will exist there, and nobody knows the answer. And I don't know what time frame is suitable for this question, but what is going to be the end state of when the moment that is in full place. And I don't know what that means. It could be 20 years, 40 years from now. And we also need to talk about 1 year or 5 years from now. So, but adding that element is going to be very, very powerful. So always I try to think about what's going to be like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 3 months from now, maybe 2 weeks from now. So when the world is fast changing like this, and it's changing a lot, and of course you'll be able to put your head below the pillow and stop thinking. That's one way, but once you take that pillow off, you'll realize the world has changed. So I would encourage that we would be courageous enough to at least see what's happening in the world, starting from the very, very vague end state of the world. And of course, this is not the real end. So mid end state of the world. But this helps a lot. So let's try thinking about what's going to come. And of course, and just last note is that combined with that, we will need to think what we are doing in that place, in that world. So because the reason we think about the future is because we need to think about what we are going to do by ourselves and for ourselves. So it's not just about understanding the world outside. It's much more about trying to understand what I will, you will, we will be doing. Because in the end of the world, we are the people who will build something. Okay, That's for today. Thank you for watching.